You thought I had died, didn't you? But alive I am, though revealing my face through a shitty camera. After some thought and some of your feedback, I thought I'd freshen up my approach to this channel and to my project. Some of you told me that there wasn't much story in this story project, but a lot of world building. And truth be told, there's a lot of both behind the scenes. But as far as the story goes, I'm not ready yet to share it with you. On the other hand, I have an abundance of world building we can play around with. So I thought to give the channel a soft reboot and start from the beginning with order, as I go on working on all the things I need to set up the whole project properly. As every nerd worth their salt should know, every beginning starts with a map. This is the central continent of Drasil, or Central Drasil in short. This land is divided in four major blocks: the Western Highlands, facing the ocean, home to the tribes of Olon; the Marklands, fragmented and belligerent; the Kingdom in the center; and the Eastern lands beyond the plateaus. We will start from the Kingdom, the place where most of the short stories I wrote are set, and where the novel I'm writing takes place. The Kingdom is nothing but the pitiful vestige of what once was the Imperium, which stretched far across most of the lands of the world. After the fracture, a cataclysmic event of arcane nature, the Imperium plunged into centuries of chaos and disarray, torn apart by rivalries, intestine wars, and eldritch disasters. 3 centuries later, and with much effort, the kingdom rose from the charred corpse of the Imperium, claiming the old imperial capital as seat for the king's throne. This city is the beating heart of the kingdom, and the single largest city in the whole known world. When the imperators had it built, they wanted it to symbolize their divine power. To achieve this effect, they raised the valley surrounding the city and flattened it into what became known as the plain, a massive stretch of fertile flatland carved by the unthinkable power of the godly imperators and by legions of their best arcanists. From one end of the plain to the other, the sight is uninterrupted, allowing the viewer to witness the bulk of White Peak at all times as a constant reminder of the imperial power. It's the city of White Peak that I wanted to realize, to introduce you all to this world the proper way. I am much more versed in character and creature design. Landscapes are not my strongest suit. This is why I went with a super complicated scene, boasting various smaller hamlets and the city in the center from a top view to make things worse. I found it really hard to balance detail and synthesis. Everything being so small made it hard to use bold, synthetic brushwork, and I couldn't find the proper visual language to codify the various elements of this piece in a satisfactory way. The end result left me unhappy, and so I did what any sane person would do after hours of hard work. I started from scratch. New framing, new point of view, same idea. A chaotic, sprawling city grown around the godly structures of the imperial citadel, with the white spire at its heart. I quickly realized that hand painting everything would put me back into the same conundrum of the previous image, caught between the anvil of huge visual ambitions and the hammer of reasonable time constraints. So I opted for some photo bashing, which allowed me to cram a huge amount of detail in this piece without spending weeks on it. It was a lot of work anyway, but my head spins thinking how much more work it would have been had I tried to do everything by hand. Here's the final result: a view of White Peak from the White Snake River in a hazy early morning. The twin statues of the White Sovereign, representation of the imperial bloodline, have been greeting every incoming vessel for centuries. It was draining work, but I really like the place I managed to create. It truly reflects the way I envision this city. White Peak is a world in itself, and if you stick around, we will dive deeper into its narrow, overcrowded streets. To that end, do drop me a like and keep your ears perked up. Maybe check the notification bell. I'm planning streamings, shorts, and a lot more things to come. For the time being, I am Emiliano. This is Dreambound Wilo. You've been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.